it's been about 20 years since Invisible Babes.
Really?
Yeah.
It feels like yesterday.
Oh.
No, really, I'm serious.
Really?
Yeah.
Like last week.
Okay, last week. Sorry.
Last week.
I think it was a big challenge because I'm first of all vegetarian for a very long time, for most of my life.
He threw up every shot. After every shot, he ran out and
I
threw
was
up.
saying, you poor chicken, I'm so sorry.
แต่กฤษนี่แปลกตรงที่ว่ามันมีอะไรบางอย่างเกี่ยวกับเขาที่เรารู้สึกว่ามันน่าฆ่านะไอ้คนเนี้ยแม่งควรตายเนาะ When you make a film, each shot, each scene, the good shot and the so-so shot, I think the difference is so little. It's super little. It's like 2%, 3%. It's so little, but the 3% is a big difference. And I learned that from working with Chris.
ดินน้ำลมไฟกินถูกกับธาตุอาหารเป็นยาวิเศษกินแสลงกับธาตุอาหารก็เป็นยาพิษ
I wanna love you forever. It comes so easy.
Hi, Series Society. I'm Christopher Doyle, camera, clown, actor sometimes, happy person. Very happy to be here.
สวัสดีครับผมเป็นเอกรัตนเรื่องครับเป็นคนเขียนบทและก็ผู้กำกับเรื่องครัวสาวครับภาพยนตร์ฉายในโรงตอนนี้ครับ
I'm your biggest fan.
I think everybody has said that. I'm about to say the same. I'm a fan of both of you, so it's an honor to speak to you today. And it's been about 20 years since Invisible Babes.
Really?
Yeah.
It feels like yesterday.
Oh.
No, really, I'm serious.
Really? Like last week.
Okay, last week. Sorry.
Last week.
Last Tuesday evening around 7 o'clock.
What happened to those like 2 decades, and why did Morte Casina seems like the right time of collaborating together again?
He's a very slow writer, and I'm a very slow drinker.
20 ปีเหรอใช่ป่ะประมาณ20 ปีประมาณ20 ปีว่า
It doesn't really.
มันก็เราก็ไปทำหลายอย่างนะไปทำอย่างอื่นด้วยนะแล้วก็มันไม่ใช่ทุกโปรเจกต์ที่มันจะเหมาะมันต้องเป็นโปรเจกต์ที่มันเหมาะจริงๆด้วยแล้วก็อย่างคือเวลาทำงานกับคริสนี่เราก็ต้องท็อปฟอร์มอยู่เหมือนกันใช่ไหมทีนี้มันต้องใช้เวลาในการที่ฟิตร่างกายเพื่อจะมาท็อปฟอร์มเพื่อทำงานกับเขามันก็ใช้เวลามันแบบจริงมันมีโปรเจกต์นึงก่อนหน้านี้ที่คิดว่าจะทำร่วมกันแล้วปรากฏว่าโปรเจกต์นั้นมัน fail through มันหาเงินไม่ได้หาเงินไม่ครบไม่พอก็เป็นหนังแบบทดลองมากๆเลยอะแล้วก็เลยพอโปรเจกต์นั้นไม่ได้ทำเราก็เขียนสคริปต์โปรเจกต์นี้แล้วก็แน่นอนมันก็ถึงเวลาที่อยากร่วมงานด้วยกันอยู่แล้วใช่ไหมกับ2ก็คือว่าพอเวลาหนังที่มันเป็นเรื่องเกี่ยวกับผู้หญิงอะคือคริสเขาเป็นคนที่มองผู้หญิงแบบพิเศษมากอะมันเห็นมาหลายเรื่องแล้วว่าไม่ใช่แต่หนังของเรานะหนังของหลายเรื่องที่เขาถ่ายเราเห็นว่าผู้หญิงจะ outstanding มากคือมันไม่ใช่ว่าถ่ายสวยอะแต่เหมือนเขาเอาข้างในแบบเขาเอาความรู้สึกข้างในอะไรอย่างเงี้ยออกมาคือเขาพาเราเข้าไปในใจของคนนั้นได้โดยถ้าตัวละครหลักเป็นผู้หญิงเนี่ยเรารู้สึกว่ามันมีตากล้องไม่กี่คนที่เหมือนกับที่ทำแบบนี้ได้ก็เลยเหมาะถึงเวลา
No. The real truth is it took him 20 years to recover from working with me.
That's what I said. I said working with you have to be at the top form.
It took me 20 years to learn how to use a digital camera.
ใช่ใช่
Really, you
เพราะ
see,
ว่าเขาแบบ old school มาก
big challenge, yeah.
ใช่ Actually we were talking this film in the beginning
about
shooting film actually but it didn't happen
because we are both like books, you know, the difference between book and an iPad is you know you feel something. I think we feel the same way about food, for example, in this film. It's very much about the touch and the feel and the smell and all that kind of stuff. And I think we feel about film also that it should be a physical experience. It should be that it should be something. It's not definitely not anything AI, you know, except me today. Actually, I'm not here. And then, I know you. Just for the audience, this is not the real Chris. I'm just here from AI. Thank you, Panek, for having me.
Your hair is AI
No, my hair is real, and the
Your
rest
hair
of
is AI
Okay, so I was about to ask, like, what's different in collaborating this time? But you mentioned digital cameras.
No, it's no different. It's the same conversation. I think this is the great thing about any quote unquote life in art or any work itself. It's one big story. It's one continuous celebration of the things that you care about or the ideas that you don't know quite how to get into the right shape. So it takes different forms and it takes different perspectives or perhaps spaces or for example when we were making many films with this guy, this tall guy in Hong Kong, the tall guy in Hong Kong with glasses, sunglasses, that guy. So when we made these films which were very popular, so we said let's get away from everything. So go the furthest we can go from ourselves. The furthest we can go from Hong Kong is Argentina. That's why we made Happy Together. And I think it's the same about your attitude towards your work is, okay, let's try. So, for example, we work with other people in order to work better together. Really seriously, because they take away all the other stuff, the stuff that you wanted to get out of the way so that we can continue this conversation that we started and we don't know how to end. Never ending story.
ก็เหมือนกันนะคือเวลาอย่างเมื่อกี้ยังตกใจพอบอกว่ามัน20 ปีเนี่ยเพราะว่ากลับมาทำงานด้วยกันคืออาทิตย์แรกเริ่มงานด้วยกันเริ่มสเกาต์โลเคชั่นด้วยกันเริ่มอะไรก็มันไม่รู้สึกว่ามันเหมือนเราเพิ่งแยกกันเมื่ออาทิตย์ที่แล้วอ่ะมันไม่ได้รู้สึกคืออย่างเดียวที่อาจจะทำให้รู้สึกก็คือแก่ลงไปทั้งคู่นั่นแหละคือแต่ว่านอกนั้นไม่รู้สึกนะไม่รู้สึกเลยว่าเวลามันผ่านไป20 ปี
This question is for you, Christopher. So
Go away. You can leave for a while. Yeah, have a nap. Okay.
So most Thai audience would probably associate your cinematography with something like bold color, kinetic camera movement. But your work, like if you really look closely at it, it always evolved with the story and the director as well. And in Morte Casino, the camera feel almost like a silent witness somehow for me. And how do you approach like composing the mise-en-scene of the film?
He's old. That's why the camera doesn't move.
I'm slowing down.
He can't move the camera anymore.
I can't move the camera anymore. Could you? I'll see you later. I think it's very difficult to talk about my experience in cinema since I've become a much more. No, I think it's I always say it's feng shui. It's about people in space. Number one. Most people say it's about the story. Yeah, fine, okay. But I think that if it's about the story, we'll read a book.
You don't know the story.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think what the great thing is that in my way of working and the way we work together is, we first of all, we prepare the whole thing, not just, so we go to the locations, we talk about, so the location is included in the story. So it's not just Tom sitting in a room, writing. It's okay. So might happen here. So what if it happens? Oh, this works here. Okay. The second thing is to think about the money, the budget. So okay. So we have this beautiful house here. So can we do something that relates to it? First of all, if it's close by, then physically it will feel similar. And I think that's important for the geography of the film is important for the audience. That you feel that you're not opening a door. You're in Bangkok and you're in a room in Chiang Mai. I think that's very important. So and also it makes the working situation much more practical because then the actors, perhaps if they were here and then tomorrow they're but it's next door, then they're going to be more connected. But if they're here and then 6 months later in Chiang Mai they play the second part of the scene, the whole thing is different. Plus it costs more because you have to move, etc. So all those things are. So it's much more. What's the word? Quote unquote organic. I think our process. So therefore, I think the style we don't really talk about the style, but that this process pushes us in a certain direction, and I think that's why the films become more as they are, as opposed to somebody else's film or us imitating another style, or even my own style from other films, you know. Which is a hassle because a lot of people want my old style from other films.
I don't.
He doesn't.
I
That's,
don't.
no, but seriously,
don't.
That's one of the pleasures that we really want to make this film the way it is, you know, as opposed to me celebrating what I did 135 years ago.
No, every time I work with Chris, the shooting script, not the screenplay, the shooting script. I mean the short list and things that we would shoot is a lot different than the screenplay, because not that the story is different or we improvise, no, but because when we work together, everything always starts with location, the actors that we have, the budget, and when we start looking at location, we decided this place we can do this, and then we can do more with this. Then it changes the scene. It changes the scene. It changes sometimes because of Chris calling me over and he said, look at that, right? Look at that shadow. Sometimes because of that, when I go home tonight, I cut out 3 lines of dialogues completely. Sometimes I cut out like 1 page of dialogue because of that shadow.
Because the shadow tells the story more beautiful. And as film is about experience, it's a visual experience. It's not words on a page.
Like when I work with him, like the shooting script becomes so different than the screenplay.
Because you mentioned the shadow, and there is one scene that because we watch it together, we really love. So there's this thing with Kikrit, like looking at his first wife. In the shadow, and in the next scene he was in a restaurant with a totally different lighting, and I think lighting tells so much story in it. So I think I want to know more about crafting the lighting in the scene that communicates so much.
Well, first of all, so we're talking about the Chinese. Which is
the Chinese restaurant.
No, the Chinese restaurant.
The one in the shadow is the gallery.
It's the gallery.
When he's looking at his wife, taking picture with the sun.
And then it's the Chinese restaurant, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, I think that first of all there's a contrast.
You go
yeah. Secondly, don't forget he starts, and again I can't speak, but in my quote unquote logic is the first 2. One is Chinese food, then is Japanese food, if I remember.
Right.
So I think that they should be a little bit different from, sort of a little bit, what's the word, not conventional, because he's feeling the way. They're feeling the way together, or she is pulling him in, right, or whatever you're going to say. So it should feel a little bit awkward. So the light is quite bright and it's the same thing. We made the space very flat. It was much more complicated than that. It's a real restaurant. Both of them are real restaurants. So I think we simplified it down to the basic elements of this kind of food, or this kind of ambience, or this kind of culture, which is still a little bit. It's not. We haven't arrived at the time when she's making Thai food for him. Really, it's just, I think, you want things to look, a little bit sparse, a little bit empty. Again, it's the feng shui, it's the location. I really think it's about how these people look in this space and how they would act in this space. And we know that they wanted to act a little bit, formal, a little bit in a certain way. So all those things together become this choice that we make, and including the way it's lit, or the way in which it's shot, and the way in which it's framed, which was very simple also. And the way we shot the food.
I remember 2 things with the Chinese restaurant scene is that, number one, my experience of Chinese restaurants in Thailand, when you go, it's full of people.
Yeah.
It's super busy.
Yeah.
So
everywhere.
Right. right. So of course we have 50 extras to be in the restaurants. And Chris said that I think it should be empty. It should be totally empty, right? Okay, so I think the producer paid the extras to go home.
Sorry.
They each got 1,000 baht to go home, to do nothing, to go home, right? Number 2, when we reversed the camera to the guy, to Gorn, I saw him you were putting 2 strips of neon lights behind, way back, on the wall taping the neon light and I thought what is he doing like taping these neon lights but when you frame the shot the two neon lights really made a difference you see it in the shot it made a difference this kind of these are mysteries these are complete mystery you don't know why things I think in the film when you make a film each shot each scene the good shot and the so shot I think the difference is so little it's super little it's like 2% 3%
no it's even it's this
it's so it's so little but the 3% is a big difference
yeah this is different from that
and I learned that from working with Chris because he go and do something that you don't understand why you have to bother and then when you frame it then you realize that that makes it
you're supposed to speak Thai
I forgot shit I forgot
you want me to speak Thai instead okay so สวัสดีครับ
so the next one is for พี่ต้อม
yeah good
now I speak Thai okay
ไอรู้สึกว่าเล่นดีสุดๆเลยคือพี่กฤษค่ะทั้งแบบฉากกินแล้วก็ด้วยภาพลักษณ์ทางอาหารในช่วงนี้ด้วยทำไมถึงเป็นเลือกเป็นพี่กฤษมาตั้งแต่ต้น
คือก่อนอื่นบทก่อนนี่มันหายากมากเลยฮะเราหากันแบบแทบจะผมไม่เหลือคนแล้วอะคือแปลกนักแสดงผู้ชายไทยที่อายุประมาณแถวๆเนี้ยที่สามารถไม่ต้องแสดงอะเล่นแบบไม่ต้องแสดงได้คือมันหายากมากแต่กฤษนี่แปลกตรงที่ว่าผมเห็นในเทปคาสจนไม่เหลือแล้วกะว่าถ้าไม่ได้ก็อาจจะเลื่อนถ่ายแล้วหรืออาจจะไม่ทำแล้วเรื่องเนี้ยแล้วอีท่าไหนไม่รู้กฤษนี่มาเป็นคนสุดท้ายเลยฮะตอนนั้นเรียกว่า desperate แล้วอะผมไม่ได้เจอเขาลงเทปมาให้ดูลงเป็นคลิปมาให้ดูพอผมดูคลิปแล้วผมก็ว่ะแม่งไม่เลวอ่ะนี่คือมันมีอะไรบางอย่างเกี่ยวกับเขาที่เรารู้สึกว่ามันน่าฆ่านะไอ้คนเนี้ยแม่งควรตายเนาะใช่ป่ะเราก็เลยนัดเจอแล้วก็คุยไปก็มีความกังวลไปเหมือนกันว่าเชื่อมันจะได้ป่าววะมันจะได้ป่าววะเพราะว่าเขาเหมือนเขาไม่ค่อยแคร์มากว่าเขาตรงข้ามกับเบลล่าเลยคือเบลล่านี่จะแบบว่านั่นมากเลยแต่กฤษนี่ครับว่าเขาจะแบบแฮปปี้โกลักกี้นิดๆแต่มันกลายเป็นว่าพอเราลงมือแต่ว่าบุคลิกมันใช่เลยทุกอย่างการพูดการจาเขานั่งคุยกับแต่เราไม่คุยกันเรื่องหนังเลยนะเราไม่คุยเรื่องสคริปต์เราไม่คุยเรื่องนี้เราจะคุยสัพเพเฮระเราดูมือไม้เขาวิธีที่เขายกแก้วกาแฟกินอะไรเงี้ยนั่งดูไว้รู้สึกว่าไอ้นี่แม่งถ้าจะมีคนที่ควรโดนฆ่าตายหาก็ควรจะเป็นไอ้นี่แหละเราก็คิดนี่ใช่ว่ามันควรจะเป็นแน่แล้วก็เลยถ้างั้นก็เอาเลยแล้วกันคือคาสติ้งนี่มันเป็นเรื่องเสี่ยงอ่ะคุณเลือกใครมันก็มีสิทธิ์เลือกผิดมากกว่าเลือกถูกอ่ะแต่ว่าไม่เอาละก็ไปแล้วเพราะว่าเราเชื่อว่าด้วยบุคลิกเขาเนี่ยมันน่าจะพาเราไปรอดแต่ไม่ได้คิดว่ามันจะดีขนาดนี้กฤษนี่แปลกฮะเขาเหมือนเด็กคือเขาเหมือนเด็กสคริปต์จะไปทางนี้หนังจะไปทางนี้ซีนนี้จะไปทางนี้เขาพอจะรู้ว่ามันต้องซีนนี้เกี่ยวกับอะไรเขาพอจะรู้แต่เขาไม่ต้องการเข้าใจมันแบบ 100% แล้วผมว่าเขาเป็นคนช่างสังเกตถึงว่าถ่ายอาทิตย์แรกๆมันเหมือนยังไม่ค่อยเจลกันเท่าไหร่แต่พอผ่านไปสักอาทิตย์1 2 อาทิตย์เขาเหมือนเขาเริ่มรู้จากการที่เวลาผมกำกับแล้วว่าผมเป็นคนมีรสนิยมแบบนี้ผมไม่ชอบอะไรเงี้ยเขาเริ่มรู้แล้วผมว่าเขาปรับได้เร็วมากปรับตัวได้เร็วมากเรียกว่าครึ่งเรื่องหลังนี่แทบจะไม่ต้องมีการกำกับกันแล้วเลยอ่ะและอย่างคือกฤษเวลาเขาแม่งแปลกนะแม่งกินอะไรแล้วมันน่ากินอะกินอะไรมันอร่อยอ่ะนั่นน่ะแล้วทุกคนแม่งพูดมาเลย
คุณสาวเองดูไม่ค่อยทานอะไรเลยนะครับ
So we have to talk about filming the food, of course. I love how it's not too perfect. It doesn't look like because sometimes if you watch food movie, they'll make it look like too good. It's
Commercial.
Yeah. How do you approach that? And I read that you're a vegetarian. Like, how do you feel like working with food that you don't?
He threw up every shot. After every shot, he had to run out and throw
I
up.
was saying, you poor chicken, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I know how you suffered, my dear fish. Thank you for coming to dinner. I think, yeah, it was a big challenge because I'm first of all vegetarian for a very long time, for most of my life. And secondly, I'm not very good.
Eater.
I'm not good at eating. I just in general. My wife is a fantastic cook, but it's wasted on me. And then many people, as you know, I lived in Asia for most of my life. And everyone says, well, you know so much especially about Chinese culture, but you don't know nothing because you don't eat. You don't eat with us. You don't
enjoy food.
You don't go to Japan and have the real ramen, and you don't come here and have the real mussel-man curry, so you don't know what you're missing. Or go to China and have the real, shish kebab, Xinjiang, shish kebab. So what do you know? And that was the biggest challenge. So of course I need a good mentor, right? But secondly, I think it's good that you say that. I think that we regarded the food as a character. As you say, we're not making a barbecue commercial or a beer. 75 lights. Making sure you see the beer. Full glue. And the light.
120 frames.
100,000 frames and everything looking so perfect. No, it's a character and it's part of like we said about all the characters and the actions within the character. It's about feng shui. It's about how things relate to each other. So in this case, it's people in space. That's why you sit, and that's what feng shui is about, right? You sit in the corner of a restaurant because it feels right. I light in this way so that you will sit in that corner. That's my job. If you turn around now and you see that chair over there, I definitely go and sit in that chair because the light is falling in that area and it's beautiful. And I would feel comfortable there. So that's my job, is to create, from our discussions, from our choices of location, that we enhance that feeling to make the feeling of the space, for example, the Chinese restaurant or the Japanese restaurant or the Thai cooking school, etc., etc. So it's the space that this scene deserves, and it's a space that will help this scene fulfill its function and perhaps do even more. So the same with the food. The food is a character who belongs in the scene. So the lighting is a little bit, sometimes for close-ups, there's certain lights to bring out the texture of certain foods. And there's some backlight, for example, so that you'd see the drip. Remember, there's a drip of oil. There's little tricks which come from food advertising, of course, but they come from all sorts of all sorts of cinema tricks. But basically, they have to be coherent and consistent with the general scene and the general feel. And like I said, the biggest challenge was to make the good food look bad. Right? Remember, he has
the healthy food.
So I don't know how do you, because for him the healthy food is like, so we made it a little bit brighter. A little bit brighter than natural, so and a little bit, and the colors were a little bit, exaggerated, just a little bit, but so the normal audience sees it as good organic food, but it's basically we rely on his performance to show that this is not something he even considers as food. So of course, we go back to the two things that the director has to do, which is make sure the performance conveys it, and then add the scene of throwing the food away. So that really helps. If you didn't have the throwing away the food, yes, you would understand, but it wouldn't have the same, effect.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it's important that
I think I have to argue. I think you're wrong when you say that the food shot is not so perfect, right? I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect because no, I think all the food shots are really perfect because if you shoot it like TV commercial, then it's like that's overproduced, right? And it's not.
Yeah, it's not,
I mean,
its
to
function,
me,
its
I mean, to me, when I look at those TV commercial food shots, I never wanted to eat those food. They look so terrible, because I know that the chicken in the shop doesn't look like that.
I did a commercial once, and in Spain, and a beautiful woman is carving up a turkey, and she's crying And I said, what's the matter? She says, I'm vegetarian.
ขอขยายความค่ะมันเพอร์เฟกเกินไปแต่อันนี้น่ากินมากค่ะพี่คือรู้ว่าหมูสามชั้นฆ่าหนูตายแน่ๆแต่หนูอยากกินค่ะ so the last question after 3 films together what have you learned from one
Three,
another?
only 4, isn't it?
Well, we did some short films together.
But yeah what have you learned from one another that still
Nothing.
influences the way
Nothing.
We learned to stay away
I
from
forgot
each other.
everything. He made me forget everything. He made me forget everything.
We learned to stay away from each other for 20 years.
See you in 20 years. Yeah. I think that we learn is what we, again, whether it is true, but I think it has to be said and encouraged in your audience is work with people you love. You know, why else would you spend night after night, without sleep, worrying about something? Why else would you take, most film people don't make the money that Tom Cruise does or Spielberg. Most directors, and most actors, very few actors actually get to that kind of space. So if you didn't love it, why would you do it? I mean, go and. I think we could make really good gelato. I've heard that there's a real market in gelato, right? So why not do gelato instead of I mean, I agree. It makes more sense. And the most important line and the most common line from people who really care, it's Charles Bukowski this time. Charles Bukowski says, don't do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you've studied it and you learned about it. Do it because you can't not do it. Yeah, this is what in other words, you would actually physically die. You would physically feel uncomfortable. You wouldn't be happy in life unless you did this particular. Don't do it because you want to make money. I'm sure many people do, but I think that the great thing is that you have this. You find these people, find your friends that care the same way you. Go to the people you went to school with, the people that have the same sort of interests and hobbies, and do something with them. And that's in our case. We like books. We're very good squash players. Yeah, I'm kidding. And you have a certain attitude towards filmmaking and what it means to you personally and what you hope it means to other people, and you want to share that. That's it. So we happen to to connect, and we happen to know each other. And in my case, I am very lucky to have many friends like that who happen to be filmmakers. But they're friends. That's the most important.
No, filmmaking is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, to make a film is hard. It's very hard, right? So the only way to do it, and hopefully the chance of it turning out better than worse, is that you do it with this kind of attitude. You do it kind of like.
With people you love. I mean, why would you spend 6 months of your life? I mean, look at Christopher Nolan's last film. Doesn't matter how good it is. It was like 2 years of people, at least 2 years of most people's lives, of hundreds of people's lives. So why would you do it just because he's Christopher? No, because of course that's part of the reason, because he does good work which he seems to care about. So you feel that he cares, so maybe you should care too. So maybe he cares about what you do. So you feel, so it's a cycle. So there's a give and take, which is reassuring and exciting and fulfilling, and you're not wasting your life.
I like happy work, because filmmaking is difficult. So when you go out every day for months, right? You want to spend with
Yes, exactly.
your kind of people, you kind of like you feel like family and friends, right? And you want the atmosphere to be kind of like
a family.
Easy.
But that's it. Almost all great filmmakers work almost always with the same team. Because it works, because they're happy together, because they have similar interests, because they know each other's highs and lows. What I know, you can say a sentence and I know kind of how to finish it. I have an idea and you can take it further. You're not quite sure how to do something. Maybe I have a suggestion. It has to be like that. Otherwise, what's it for?
And they don't do what you tell them to do.
Gelato! What did I say? Gelato!
He's gonna be so happy.
I think our time is up, so thank you
Thank you so
for
much.
everything.
Gelato!
Samnak Khao Today Make Tomorrow Today